Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body-connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside In Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Hello, welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm Jenny C. Cohen, your host, and today we have such a special treat. We have Noushin Hart here with us, and before I go into her extensive bio, the full bio will be in this episode's description. Dr. Hart is a board-certified radiation oncologist, and her work bridges conventional medicine with trauma-informed, holistic, and preventive approaches to health and well-being. Why is this important? Most of my audience members, you know that I was a breast cancer survivor, and this additional treatment that Dr. Hart includes and wants to bring to our attention, I think it's vital, and I wish every person who's going through any type of cancer treatment would know about. Welcome, Dr. Hart.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So will you just explain, first of all, I think it's so, like as an American, so cool that you came here from Iran and brought like not just the medical perspective, but the cultural nuances of your background into your treatment. Will you just share with us why you started to add in allopathic medicine with a holistic approach?
Actually, other than the cultural differences that I naturally brought with me, for example, in Iran, I couldn't and I was not supposed to tell my patients that they had cancer. Only family members knew. Other than that, I really didn't bring anything into how I was practicing medicine in the United States. However, because of my own extensive childhood trauma, I had developed treatment-resistant clinical depression, insomnia, and PTSD. And like a good Western-trained doctor, I went through everything that Western medicine could offer me, including 30 years of therapy and almost every medication, and then even transcranial magnetic stimulation that was new in about 2018 or something. I went through all of it, and I only got worse. And I'm not saying anything against therapy or medications. I'm just saying that I didn't get better with those. And because my psychiatrist basically sat in front of me and said, I don't have anything else to offer you, that forced me to come out of the box of allopathic medicine. And in that sense, I'm glad, because that opened the door not only for my healing, but also opened my mind as a radiation oncologist to the fact that there are other modalities out there that I have not been offering my patients, and that gave me additional tools.
I'm just going to let us all sit here for a second and just absorb your answer, because you come from the medical authority and also the personal experience that intersects, because oftentimes, at least for me, when I was being medically treated, it felt as if none of the medical practitioners knew what it was like to actually be a patient going through the process, right? And the fact that unfortunate for us, but unfortunate for you, like you bore the double layer of it. Like you had to figure out a way that wasn't working, which I think, honestly, most of us don't fit in the box. We have to find very particular ways to help ourselves, and really, like I've taught my family, my husband included, when we meet with a medical practitioner, we hold nothing back. We try and give whoever's in front of us who's providing medical care in any area has big and broad a picture of what's going on as possible, so they can help us. We're not keeping secrets. You know, if we went to one specialist, we're not telling the other specialists. We're like trying to bring everyone together as a team for ourselves, which I feel very few people are taught that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that you were so open about it. What have you found in your work with your clients? Because you have different categories of clients. Well, explain that first, and then I'm going to ask further questions regarding that.
So, going to what you just said, I have always been very aware, even before what I have experienced. I was very aware that I had not experienced my patient's experience. So, anytime I entered the room, I said, I cannot imagine what you're going through. Even though I have seen hundreds of patients in, similar situation as yours, when and if I get cancer, that's the first time I would experience it. I'm not even claiming that I know what you're going through. All I'm telling you is that I perhaps know how to treat it, but we're always a team, and I absolutely don't know what you're going through. So even now, when I talk to patients, I say the only thing I have experienced is that how to be in a situation when somebody tells you as your doctor tells you, I have nothing to offer you, which I had not experienced that. And even so, thankfully, that is not something that we tell every patient with cancer. Like majority of patients with cancer, we have treatment for them. It's only a minority that after offering them treatment, we may get to a point that say, really, we don't have anything else to offer you. And it has been rare, but I have been telling some very rare patients that, and I didn't know how it was to be on the other side when you hear that. And when I heard that from my psychiatrist, I literally was in shock. And when I came out of the room, there was a bench outside of his office, and I clearly remember it like it was yesterday. And I sat on that bench, and I didn't want to go home because I didn't know what to do. I was just completely frozen. Like, what does it even mean that he doesn't have anything to offer me? So even though it was very hard, I'm very glad that I experienced that, because now I can, kind of relate at least from that aspect with patients. So that is my experience with patients who have cancer. But now, because I offer modalities other than what Western medicine offers, I have people who come to me who might have cancer but want to experience other modalities, and I have people who come to me who have don't have cancer and want to offer the other modalities, and that gives me a wide range of how to experience my interaction with different people in different scenarios.
Oh, thank you for explaining that. So, my audience members, uh, Dr. Hart has a LinkedIn page that the link will be included is
Link tree, not like
Linktree. Sorry,
yes,
a
yes,
link
that's okay.
tree
Uh-huh.
link. It's too long for me to say every letter in it, so it's going to
Right.
be in the description for this episode. However, like you can get access through her website, through even if you look up what is that link? Heart to Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Heart HART and the letter two, and then HEART.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that you have some way to look her up because her last name is Hart, even though I think of it as like she's full of heart, Heart.
Thank you.
Okay, so when a client, let's say it's someone, okay, for example, selfishly, because
That's okay.
I don't want people to have cancer anymore. And I know oftentimes people, if we're not addressing things that are depleting our bodies, it weakens our immune system. And it can be something as simple as just they're not getting enough sleep, but there's
Mhm.
reasons, all these layers behind it, but we don't know why. We just can't get sleep, or we
Right.
have signs of menopause and we don't understand why. What is the besides booking a consult with you, Dr. Hart, what are some signs for them, my audience, to pay attention that makes an immediate I need to take action? Like what are some signals that it can't wait? Because we're really good at ignoring ourselves. Oh, I have a little bit of inability to fall asleep at night, but that's fine. I'll just stay up and watch some C dramas for a couple hours and then fall asleep at 2 a.m. But then I have to get up at 6, so that's 4 hours of sleep only. And this would go, we let this become a problem a year later, right? Versus, wait, I'm not getting sleep. That's a problem. That's a real problem because I'm not getting REM sleep. I'm not letting my brain recover. My body can't recover, right? What are some other symptoms that we really have to stop saying, oh, we can push it off?
Let's start with sleep because I think that's the most important. Imagine if your trash pickup was canceled for a few months. What's going to happen to your house,
Oh,
right?
it's gonna get terrible. It's gonna
It's going to be an absolute mess, right? That is what sleep does to our body. Sleep is when, deep sleep is when your body start repairing all the damages that our bodies receive during the day when we are awake, from simply from the sunshine, from the air, from what we eat, anything that causes damage to our DNA. And only when we go to sleep, not for 3 or 4 hours, for 8 hours, because that's when we get deep sleep. That is when our body is literally paralyzed and our entire energy, our body assigns our entire energy to repairing those DNAs. Okay? So if we're not getting enough sleep, we have damaged DNA day after day, week after week, month after month that is not being repaired. And what is cancer? Is mutation, right? Mutation in your DNA that has not been repaired. So you started with the most important part, and that is the sleep. And unfortunately, culturally, in this society, we have been told that the more active we are and the harder we work, people actually say that, oh, I don't need more than 3 hours of sleep, as if this is a badge of honor. But they're really damaging their health. So let's start with that, with sleep. And then there's so many other factors. Like stress is horrific because the stress increases our cortisol level. And there is no disease, whether it's cancer or multiple sclerosis or dementia, there's no disease that happens in the absence of inflammation. And cortisol causes inflammation. So, stress, lack of sleep, if you are not drinking healthy water, if you are not eating healthy food, if you're not exercising, if you're not breathing healthy air, if you're not filtering the electromagnetic field in your environment, anything that is entering your body, whether it's air or water or food or all this bombardment of electromagnetic field that nobody's talking about it, is all of that. So yeah, let's not wait until we have symptoms. Let's start checking what is going on in our environment. What are we putting in our body?
I mean, I love this. I love this overview you just went through that encapsulated so much of basic, what I consider minimal self care that
Mm-hmm.
most people, we don't give ourselves permissions because we were conditioned that that's, what is that adage? Oh, I'll sleep when I die. I'm like, you're gonna die earlier and sooner than you think. Because I mean, for me, my son, when he was diagnosed with type 1 at 10,
Mm,
until the time I found my lump,
mm,
I did not sleep because I was so
yeah,
worried about him dying in his sleep during time. You hit blood sugars really low as a
right.
parent. I, I assigned myself the responsibility of keeping him alive every night,
Sure,
right?
sure. Mm-hmm.
And it was this gradual wearing down of my immune system, even though
Mm-hmm.
the 6 months before I got breast cancer, I had been working out and increasing muscle mass and eating very healthy.
Right.
But then my husband went in the hospital for an emergency bowel
Oh,
obstruction. So that was
mhm.
just enough to tip the scale
Right.
where like my lifetime of unresolved trauma just came tumbling down. It was just, my body was
Absolutely.
like, I can't. Like,
Right.
you're managing your two children sleeping in the car because one of them is type 1. You can't count on your in laws, and your husband just had life saving bowel obstruction surgery.
Oh my God.
I can't take care of your immune system anymore. Like, right. And I
Right.
think for a lot of people, because I have a mentor for speaking that said she set up a therapist on a regular ongoing basis to address her mental wellness so
Hmm.
that when something catastrophic happened
Hmm.
behind the scenes, she already had the lattice work set up to catch her.
Mm.
Is that something that my audience could access through your offers? Do you have like I see you have like a Kundalini activation process, or and you have like a make anything possible map offer. Are those
Mhm.
something that they could explore to start setting up a lattice work of being aware of what they need, what they're not addressing in their lives?
Sure. So let me explain the difference between the two. Make anything possible or map, in my opinion, and based on my own very personal experience, is the most effective and most efficient way of treating childhood and adulthood trauma. In fact, to give you a way of comparison, only 6 sessions of MAP neutralized my childhood trauma when 30 years of therapy had not done so. And when I saw it, I literally my mind was blown. I'm like, what? 6 sessions? And I'm like, I have to become a coach for MAP, especially because since 1940s there has been so much published data showing the link between unhealed traumas and all diseases including cancer, right? So I'm like, okay, this is really a part of oncology, and any oncologist should know how to treat childhood trauma. So I became a coach for that. uh, on the other hand, CAP, Kundalini activation process, is what raises your vibrations. We are all energy, we are all vibration. The only difference between health and disease, a difference between the frequency of these two states. So if you can raise your vibration from low states of vibration to high, you can have a spontaneous healing because you're not the person who had the disease. Your vibrations are high, you become physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually healthy. So, CAP, in my opinion, is a spiritual hygiene. Just as you brush your teeth 3 times a day, you do CAP. I have been doing CAP for 6 years. I don't stop it for myself because that is what keeps my vibrations high. And a combination of MAP and CAP have literally changed me as a person and has changed my life. I have zero sign of depression. I sleep like a baby. I have no panic attacks. I I mean 6 years ago if you met me you would not think that I am the same person. And I was on very high doses of medications. I was doing therapy once or twice a week for 30 years. And none of those stopped it. So that is why I became a facilitator for CAP. So, yes, both of these modalities can be done online. Nobody needs to be in Houston to receive these treatments from me. They can receive these treatments online because we're talking about quantum energy.
Yes. Audience members, you can access both of these offers on her website by healing. So it's
Art.
healingbyhart.com. So HEALINGBYHART.com. Okay, because they're both there. I mean, I'm like, oh, this is exciting because I already offer my audience members, Dr. Hart, a monthly masterclass at Move to Bloom. So this is free for them, but this is amazing for them to have tools and options. Now, if you were working with a client that was actively going through cancer treatment, you
Mhm.
also work with that population too. Yes?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they brush their teeth, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. Now for healing of trauma also. I mean, sometimes somebody who's getting treatment, they're so busy, like they're working and they're getting radiation treatment or chemotherapy. They may not have enough time to do that. But if they do have time, why not? It doesn't interfere with the treatment. Is just another way of raising their vibration, feeling better, and with MAP, starting to address their traumas.
I love that. When I was going through chemo, I we were on the East Coast at the time because I moved to the West Coast after radiation, but I was still having the year of infusions because I was triple positive breast cancer.
Uh-huh.
So, but I did have a Reiki master doing
Mm.
treatments because my family could see that my life force was literally leaving my body during chemo, 16 cycles. And
Mhm.
I just was getting so tired. Some traumatic
Mhm.
events happened in the dance community on the East Coast at the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was like a bullying incident. So I'm in the middle
Mhm.
of chemo and people were bullying me. And so
Uh-huh.
I just lost the will to live. It felt like overnight. And
Mhm.
when we were doing Reiki treatments, my children and my husband were like, "You look like a different person when you come out." Like I was so much more grounded, at
Mhm.
peace. I could because when you're going through treatment, it feels like you're being slowly dying from the inside out because of the chemotherapy, right? And I remember feeling so disconnected from my body before the Reiki treatments, and then afterwards feeling more connected.
Okay.
Like it was less painful to be in my
Mhm.
body, right?
Yes, yes,
And I love that you offer these type of treatments because you need a respite from the treatment. Like sometimes life feels so raw, even
yes.
if you're not in chemotherapy, life just feels raw. And I
Right.
love the option of you having this experience for us that takes, how do you explain this? It doesn't numb you, it helps us
It
process.
takes
And
the
then,
edge off.
thank you. It takes the edge off, right? I mean, like life, gosh.
Right.
So for someone who may not necessarily be able to take those options right now, what are some first steps for them besides your free resources?
You know, to raise your vibration, there are many simple ways of raising your vibration, right? For example, grounding. We are so ungrounded because of all the materials that are used in our houses. We may be walking barefoot in our house, but we are not grounded. Sometimes our houses are not properly grounded. So making sure that our houses are properly grounded, having just simply go outside and get some sunshine. We have made such a evil from sunshine. Yes, too much of it is bad, but at certain hours of the day, especially early in the morning, exposing ourselves to the sunshine, walking barefoot on the grass, the earth is the best recharging free device out there. So grounding ourselves and meditation is free in 20 minutes, maybe ideally twice a day, raises your vibration. Music is a critical part of kundalini activation process because of its own vibration. And then literally being um, aware of what kind of vibrations or frequency we expose ourselves. Like when I do CAP, sometimes because I get too activated, I can't sleep because I'm like to have too much energy, right? You know how quickly I can bring my vibration down? I can open YouTube and watch 5 minutes of really not high vibration video. And many of us are constantly on this social media, which is bringing our vibration. So just knowing that um, what we are watching, what we are listening to, even some locations, definitely people, what we expose ourselves to can definitely affect our vibration for the negative or positive way.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to end on one last question, Dr. Hart. Now, remember, my wonderful audience, we are really privileged to have her here today, and you can access all of her resources at healingbyheart.com. Last question, because I could talk to you all day, but I'm just going to have you come back for a second interview.
Sure.
What is, okay, I'm going to ask you two questions. One question first. If there was one thing that you, from all of your life experiences, healings, and also working with clients, you wish everybody knew, like today, to give them access to health, just health, because that's not even a basic birthright people know is their birthright anymore. Just to have health.
Mhm.
What's one thing you want people to take away from today's interview?
The first thing I want them to know is that there's always hope. Like 6 years ago, I was so hopeless and helpless that I thought that was the end of my life. I was like, this is the end of it. It's not. It's never the end. There's always hope. That's number one. Number two is that you are way, way more powerful than you know. Just like a cat and a dog that they can heal ourselves, we have so much healing power inside ourselves. We just have to learn how to access it. And that's through our intuition and through reconnecting with our own bodies. Our bodies tell us everything about what to eat, what not to eat, when to sleep. We just have to listen to it.
Yeah, you answered my second question. It's all good. I'm like so excited because like I've recently everything you've just said, my audience has heard from me in different parts, either from myself or other guests, and you put it all together. And I think because you're in the medical field and you're advocating this. And I think on some perspectives we've heard it from medical people, but not from the perspective of having actually healed through that pathway,
Mhm,
and helping people through that pathway.
mhm.
And then reminding us that it's a birthright because it's really important we give ourselves permission to access that because a lot of times we were raised that we always came last, and these are the things we actually have to come first in. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank you, Dr. Hart, and my audience members. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?